Hello, beautiful and lovely gamers. My name is Jonal. Today, we are gonna take a look at how to use Hanzo's scatter or how to master Hanzo's scatter arrow. And even if you do not play Hanzo, this video can be very helpful for you, of course, if you're gonna play Hanzo in the future, and also to understand how the scatter arrow works, so you can not die to it as much. Because it's kind of like one of my team members, where Haki was saying, and he's a really intelligent guy, and I love him because. If I have a question or something in Overwatch, or I want a second opinion or something, I love that I can just, talk to him and he can give me his opinion on it. And while we were recording footage for this video, which I normally do in a custom game, this is what he had to say on Hanzo Scatter Arrows. Is there anything else about... Do you have anything that you want to mention about Scatter?
It's bullshit.
Besides that?
Please no.
Now anyway, scatter arrow can be fired from about 4 angles. Well, in theory it can be fired from 360 degrees, right? But in general we use 4 arrows. We use the ground, which is the most important one or the most efficient one, which most people should be able to master. Then there are wall bangs, or shooting from left and right wall. And then there's the very rare one, which is shooting from the roof. And the whole shooting from the roof thing I really only have made work in a proper match about once, which I will talk a little bit about later. Is a special point or place on Watch Point Gibraltar where you can shut down a ferry pretty easily, or really anything that pushes a certain area. Now, of course, it's very important that you fully charge your scatter arrow to maximum, so you do maximum damage. When it comes to shooting at the feet, essentially you can aim kind of with the green circle. It's kind of, on most heroes, it varies a little bit, but in general, on a lot of heroes, if you can make it so that when your arrow hits the ground, it will you aim at the toes of where the enemy is. So if they're running forward, of course you need to compensate a little bit for that, so that when the arrow hits the ground, their toes will be right here, as you can see on the screen, at the outcome of the circle. That way it will bounce pretty nicely straight up into the body. There are of course a couple of exceptions, such as Orisa, which is one of those things that you can one tap, and you don't really have to proper aim at her even. You can just one tap her. As long as she doesn't have Fortify activated, it's almost a guaranteed one-shot kill. And of course, Winston. This works not as good in very high ranks, or in the top tier or whatever, where Winstons become really smart. But especially in lower ranks, it's very easy if you can when the Winston leaps in, if you can land one arrow to him, and then you can a lot of time manage to land a pretty good scatter on him after that, and that will essentially normally give you a proper kill. Also, of course, scatter arrowing a Reinhardt that drops the shield is an easy way, and I've done this multiple times in tournament. On King's Row, we push up the Reinhardt. He has taken a little bit damage from like maybe a fire strike or something. He drops his shield to fire strike, and I'm waiting for that exact moment, and then just scatter arrow his ground under him. He's not moving a lot, so it's very easy to line up a perfect one, and then you can one tap him and get him out of the fight. So the Mercy either have to waste res on him, or he's down for the count, and you guys can push in without them having a proper shield. And this is why Scatter is so insanely strong, because you can almost take down a tank immediately. Those are the easiest ones to hit. And then, just one bit smaller hitboxes, of course, are a little bit harder to hit. And Yada is a little bit weird because he doesn't have feet, so you need to aim a little bit of a steeper angle so that it bounces properly up to hit his hitbox. But him alone, I personally find very easy to just land a standard arrow on. And of course, you need to watch out for the one thing that counters scatter arrow, and that's jumping. If they jump and you shoot, then a lot of time your bounce will fly under them and not really do a lot of damage. So that's something that you need to pay attention for, and that's why high shield Winston a lot of time, when they leap and then they push you out of the bubble, and then if you try to scatter, they'll just jump over it. So that's something that of course you as a Hanzo need to pay attention to. Then we come to wall bangs, and wall bangs are very easy. Just look for a corner that's a pretty good steep angle, I would say, right, where the walls, wherever you're gonna bounce off your arrow, which is normally around a corner where you have a vision arrow, there's a steep wall. The closer those walls are together, the better it is for you. If there's a roof, then that's even better, right? The tighter or smaller the area, the easier or better it is for you. And it's something that you need to kind of look at, but it's very, very easy. I like to think about it as the angle that it goes in is as good as the angle that it goes out. At least on flat walls. That's kind of how it works. So you kind of just need to visually think about, okay, I'm standing here, I shoot directly at a flat wall, so it will bounce off at the same angle, and I will be standing here. It's not exactly how it works, but it's a very easy way that I use to kind of mentally see where should I aim, essentially, to land my scatter arrow, but and to a certain extent it is a little bit RNG that like sometimes it won't bounce properly because you misaimed or something, or they moved or something. So it's a little bit RNG, but it's an easy way to kind of maybe help you guys understand how to do proper wall banging. And then in the end, the one trick that I wanted to show you guys here on Gibraltar, as you can see here's the high ground. It's kind of hard to do, and of course use your scatter arrows, as the scatter arrow might do a lot of damage, but it might not kill the guy, and then do the follow-up shot with just a loose arrow to just kill security for you. But this is what I call scatter rain, and essentially, as you can see here, there's so little room under the roof, especially if they move over these blue boxes or whatever they are, that if you scatter the roof a lot of time, you can just rain this scatter almost with no spread straight down on them. Because, of course, the further away you scatter is, the harder it is for you to land it. And the longer travel time it is between where you land your arrow and where the target is, the more kind of bigger spread, like almost like a shotgun in most video games, the bigger spread there will be and the less damage. So the closer you can get those shots, the better. So on top of this blue box, if the flare is starting to fly over, I think I did it once on stream. Maybe it might be, I record the footage and I've uploaded some other videos. I don't have it right here, but this is a good representation of just a little trick here that you guys can use. And it's all about these small tricks are really how you master Hanzo's scatter arrow. And it's a little bit of trial and error. You need to play a lot of games with him, either in quick play or competitive or something. Run around, try to do certain wall bangs, use a vision arrow a lot to find wall bangs, and then just wall bang. But of course, guys, master the standard flat ground scatter is gonna give you most of the kills. The rest of these wall bangs and the roof bang here, as I showed you, are a little bit more of just trying to be a fancy pants and trying, you know, having that small advantage. But the flat scatter arrow is in general the standard one that you guys would want to master. Because guys, sorry for no live stream. That's gonna be today. I'm going outside for once in my life, so that's gonna be exciting, I suppose. Sorry for that. There's live stream tomorrow and the day after that. For those of you who don't know when I live stream for some reason, link down to the description to my Twitch, and down there there's a tab called schedule where there's typed in when I do my live streaming. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then like and dislike. If you didn't, drop down your comments. Do you want to see any heroes, or if you have anything that you want to learn that you want me to talk about, if it's hero or strategies or something about Overwatch, just tell me about it and I'll try to get to it as always, guys. Of course, I have a huge list, so I'm trying to work it through. This was one of the requested videos, so I'm working through it. It's taking some time. But besides that, guys, also join the Discord community. That's just gonna plug the Discord community right there. I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. As always, guys, my name has been Jonal. Stay positive and keep the enemy in your crosshair.
I can feel it.